Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Vantage Master. I think I'm going to jump right into the pre-battle analysis, so to start with, this mission will be always blurry. That means neither day nor night type Nadials will have any advantages or disadvantages. Next, we can see that the enemy master is extremely slow. He has low speed and low move distance, but he has extremely high magical power, which is offset by his very low physical stats and moderately low magic defense. This kind of master is what I tend to refer to as a stand-in-place and summon master, because that's his best strategy. As you can see, we start surrounded by water. That means the first thing I'm going to do is summon a Reku without moving in order to grab those 3 magic stones in the water behind us. Because of the positions and spacings of the magic stones, the lower right 2 can be grabbed in sequential turns, and it doesn't matter what order, because it'll take 2 turns to get to the one in the lower left, no matter which order you get the first 2 in. My second summon was a Dalmdauer because it's a straight up counter to the enemy Gwen Foss, nothing complicated there. This is a good time to talk about move types in Vantage Master. There are 5 move types: Walk and Walk 2, Swim and Swim 2, and finally Fly. Walk and Walk 2 are identical, except that Walk cannot move into water and Walk 2 can. However, it costs twice as many move points to move each hex in the water as it does on land. Swim and Swim 2 are the same as Walk and Walk 2, except they move better in water and slower on land. Finally, the flying move type can move up and down elevations freely, is not impeded by terrain, but cannot end its turn in water. All Heaven-type Nadials have the Fly move type. All Fire-type Nadials have the Walk 1 move type. Most Earth types are Walk 2, and most Water types are Swim 2, but there are some of each with the inability to move onto the other kind of terrain. Okay, so now the position on the field has developed a little bit more. The enemy has 2 Fire-type Nadials to counter my 2 Gwen Foss. The reason I have 2 Gwen Foss is because they're an excellent unit for pressuring enemy masters, and the enemy master has very low defensive stats. I'd rather force it to move as much as possible in order to incur higher delays on its actions. My plan at the moment is to kill the 2 enemy Nadials on the right, block the passage on the left, and then push up the right passage, trapping the enemy master with no access to magic stones and nowhere to run. Unfortunately, my Gwen Foss was unable to finish off the enemy Aetherian. However, my master, with no MP and nothing better to do, will easily be able to kill the enemy Gwen Foss. My Dalmdauer can now move into blocking position on the left, taking advantage of the fact that Nadials of the same element do somewhat reduced damage to each other. Instead of moving and attacking with magic or moving behind the enemy Aetherian, I'm going to just keep my Gwen Foss in place and kill the Aetherian, incurring the least move delay before its next action. Now, my 2 Gwen Foss are free to attack the enemy master, and with the addition of a Marm on the left, that passageway is thoroughly sealed. Unfortunately, the best my Gwen Foss can do is a frontal attack with magic, but that's still 1/5 of the enemy master's HP. Okay, so the passage on the left wasn't entirely sealed, or it is sealed, but the Dalmdauer was already outside of it. That's not going to matter, it will die, and my master will survive, because I'm not going to take any chances again. The enemy master was forced to retreat his Hepatus and summon another Nadial for defense, so I'm going to maintain the pressure by attacking his Hepatus with my Dalmdauer. Right now, because I control all the magic stones and my master moves faster than the enemy master, it's to my advantage to trade Nadials. That's why I'm more than willing to expose my Dalmdauer to counterattack by the enemy Reku. Unfortunately, my second Gwen Foss can't reach anything to attack, so it's just going to have to move forwards and wait. I could attack the enemy Dalmdauer with my Marme and kill it before it gets a chance to move again, but I'd rather play it safe and just heal my master. Likewise, my master retreats to the magic stone for the extra defense and healing. This will let the enemy Dalmdauer claim a magic stone briefly, but it'll die to the Reku and Marme. My first Gwen Foss has died, but the enemy Dalmdauer is trapped and will die, and I'm probably going to be able to either deal significant damage to his master or kill one of his other Nadials before my other 2 Nadials near the enemy master die. In the meantime, an Aetherian is the next thing to summon. It will be able to provide fire support against enemies on that large central platform, and it will be strong against the enemy Reku. Unfortunately, my Domdaller can't do much now with the Reku there, so it'll just have to sit and wait. However, the enemy master moved and made a weak melee attack against my Gwen Foss. That means it didn't accomplish much, and it's going to have to wait a long time before it can move again. Now, my Domdaller can make a second attack on the enemy Hapitus, which, if it doesn't kill it, will bring it to critical health, and it didn't kill it. Unfortunately, that means that the Hapitus is going to be able to kill my other Gwen Foss. The enemy Hapitus is severely wounded, and it's not going to be terribly effective against most of my remaining units. Therefore, I decide here that the Reku is a better target for my Aetherian, because I have nothing else that can seriously damage the Reku on the field at the moment. My master will now advance and summon a Reku. Rekus are good in close quarters positions like this unless the enemy has Earth Nadials, because they move quickly, and at close range the slower move speed on land isn't as much of a disadvantage. Of course, the enemy master was able to move forwards and summon an Earth Nadial of his own, and now things are getting a bit blocked up there. However, I can just switch my master with my Reku and deal significant damage to the enemy Pharaon Cell. This is one of the perks of having a combat-capable master. The Marme is just following along to provide healing support in case of emergencies. The enemy is being kind of a jerk here and using his Domdaller to steal magic stones. That's not going to last very long because it will die pretty quickly, but it's annoying while it lasts. Meh, I wasn't sure if the Reku would take 1 or 2 damage from the Domdaller and dim lighting from that angle, but I thought it was worth a shot. So my Domdaller will go down, but my Reku will be able to reclaim that magic stone, and nothing really has changed. Or actually, since it's my Aetherian's turn, this might be about to end. Indeed, the Aetherian's arrow is able to finish off the flimsy enemy master. His numerous remaining Nadials will do him no good whatsoever. Well, that was a nice short fight, so let's go see what the spoils of victory are. Oh, that reminds me, last video my master's magic defense also increased, but I forgot to mention that. And this level, it looks like I'm going to get 1 extra defense power and a Daruma of Prayer. Actually, that's probably pronounced Daruma. I'll introduce the Nadial it lets me summon next video and take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the Pellet, which I didn't summon at all this mission. The Pellet is the cheapest Heaven Nadial. It has very high speed, very high magic defense, and can move 4 hexes. Its physical combat stats are pathetic, but that's not the purpose of a Pellet. The Pellet has unique support magic that can restore status effects inflicted by Nadials in Master Magic that we haven't encountered yet. Its other use is as a magic stone thief and a cheap blocker. The Pellet is surprisingly durable against magic attacks as long as they're not executed by fire Nadials. I'm not sure how much I'll be using the Pellet as this master for the next mission or two, but it's going to become very important for its support magic soon. Alright, that'll wrap things up for this video, so thank you very much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Please look forwards to the next episode of this LP. We're going to climb a hill. It's exciting!